Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, July 26th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is heartfelt expansion is so important for my personal revolution, evolution. And keep in mind all through this week we are building to this Mars, Uranus, North Node conjunction, and this energy can be very triggery. And it's so important to take these triggers and utilize them to help shift ourselves, to recognize where we need to do personal work at this time. Today's astro has some definite interestingness to it. We have Mercury and Mars in a square. So we have Mercury in the sign of Leo, hopefully boosting our heartitude, our mental energy around love, our mental energy that can influence and yet also be influenced by our heart. We have that energy squaring Mars and Taurus. And what this is feeling like is like incongruence between that which we love and our values. It feels like incongruence between our mental energy and how we're taking action. For instance, I always go back to this because this is one that I always have to be very aware of. So one of my top values is loving myself and treating myself accordingly by like eating healthy, right? And yet sometimes that Mars and Taurus energy is like, ooh, that naughty gluten, for me gluten is not good, looks really good and I can't resist. And that's where I'm incongruent, right? And so our work in this energy is finding our congruence between what we love and how we're taking action. But as we have this square coming up, we may feel, experience, move through, become aware of situations where this is out of whack, where this is out of balance. Now, especially as Mars is building into this Uranus North Node conjunction, finding congruence in our actions with our values is all the more important. So take this as a learning experience to find this congruence. Now, Mercury is also building into a square with Uranus and North Node, and that energy is definitely going to be all the more triggering. So it's like, listen to this now, because here comes like a deluge is the word I get, a deluge of, other energy coming into this. What I love about today is we have the moon and Venus coming together in a conjunction in Cancer. And so it's like when we find this incongruence, here we have this double power of Venus and the moon offering some level of care to help us shift through this energy. So there's power in this, but you're going to have to be honest with yourself. Watch out for your ego, Mercury and Leo, popping up and being like, it doesn't want to hear that it's not doing it right? Watch out for that. And watch out for, the part of yourself that's right now just, what is the word? What's the right word? Reactive. Even though Mars and Taurus is much slower, it may just try to sneak on by your awareness and just do the thing. So watch for those energies in and through this square. Now, Moon in Cancer is making the rest of the connections through the day. I mentioned the one with Venus, which again may show where you're needing a little bit more care for yourself. We also have a Moon square Jupiter. So my write-up from this weekend, when we had Venus square Jupiter, may kind of bring, again, some of those similar situations where you're putting so much care into things outside of yourself, and Jupiter in Aries, about to go retrograde, is like, hey, don't forget yourself as you're caring for everybody else. Taking care of yourself is very important in this energy as well. And then speaking of Mars, the Moon and Mars are actually going to connect later in the day, hopefully bringing some of that Cancer-y, nurturing vibes to your actions. So as you make yourself aware of where there's incongruence. You can show up for that. And what do we get from that? We get integration. So we're finding some nice balance in and through this. Today's also a really good day, like, to talk about these things with good friends. I love the celebration card. This can always be hard times require furious dancing, so there may be some dancing needed as you move through these energies, but this card always represents to me too, I get by with a little help from my friends. So reaching out for support for these parts within yourself, this incongruence, these energies, they may be long suppressed so that you may not even be aware of them. The suppression card is also feeling like weighed down by what you're carrying. So again, this may be where that incongruence is. You're carrying something that's like no longer of value to you, and yet, you keep doing it, and it's weighing on you. So working it out through that is what this energy is all about. The final card that I have is the We Are the World card. And this card always feels like a reminder of me, like, to me, your color, your spectrum in and of itself is so important. Please remember that in this. Like, your values do not have to be the values of the world. They don't have to be the values of your family. They don't have to be the values of your church. They don't have to be the values of your astrologer. They don't have to be the values of your friends or your partner. Your values, what's important for you, that's what's most important. And keep that in mind, because what you bring to the table of the world has a place. Final mention today, we will have a Moon Lilith conjunction as well today. I just noticed that as I'm moving through, and Lilith always reminds us to go our own way, and that tunes in very well with, like, hey, your color is so important, but there might be some emotion coming up around that for you, like emotion around, well, I'm a little scared to do this, hasn't been well received before, all of that. And this is a call to sit with it, be present with that emotion, and then find your alignment and take that action. So, leaving that here for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.